Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you guys doing today? All right, it's another beautiful day in the mundo. Y'all know that's one of my favorite movies, right? I had to make sure that my microphone was doing something weird earlier and it kept going out. So don't know what's going on, but hello, good morning. We have made it to yet another wonderful, wonderful work week. And we're going to start this week off right by learning a few things, to help your business, whether you want to sell designs, you're just trying to figure out how do I put these designs together. You're wanting to create a design for your own clothing brand, things like that. You can do a lot. Like the possibilities are truly endless with the Silhouette Studio program because it operates like a standalone program. You don't need a machine in order to use it. And that's what your girl is here for. I am here to teach you how to use Silhouette Studio so that you can completely unlock your creativity within the program. So, I am Shakia, the professor of Silaholics Anonymous in this program, and a few other crafts. I think I know a little something about a little something. But I love doing these videos to help you guys learn and master Silhouette Studio. If this is something that you are interested in and you are, even if you feel like you're a veteran, I think that even with vets in Silhouette Studio, there's always something that you can learn. Hell, I learned something new all the time in Silhouette Studio. But if you are a newbie and this program is frustrating the mess out of you, you're trying to figure out you feel like it's so simple. This is the time to ask those questions on Mondays between 9 and 9:30. Also got a phone call this morning because Evan's not here. He's going to go pick up supplies from the warehouse because y'all went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs this weekend on orders. So he had to go to restock. So he's not here and I had to answer a few calls. So I'm a little behind, but between 9 and 9:30 on Mondays is when I come on to do this live Q&A. So I used to do it as a very open and general Q&A. Well, I think just for your random questions you may have come across on the weekend, it's I got to sneeze. Told you I'm allergic to going live. Sometimes you guys don't have a question. So I figure if I make it about design. So this is not necessarily a general. Oh my gosh, I always have to scratch my ear after I sneeze. This is not necessarily like a general Q&A. We would like to keep the questions related to actually designing something in Silhouette Studio. So if there is a technique that you have been dying to try and figure out in Silhouette Studio, now is the time to post that inspiration or what type of design it is. Post that in the comments, and we'll see if we can get that done within the 45 minutes to an hour that we will be live. So I'll try and answer as many as possible. The one thing that I do ask though, guys, if you ask a question here and I'm able to answer that one and provide value to it, the very, 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 very least that we can do is give the video a thumbs up. Also, just say thank you and share the video out. That's all I ask that you do. Oh, and also subscribe if you haven't done so already. Speaking of which, if you are new here and this is your first time catching me live, or maybe this is just your first time just seeing me and knowing who I am in general, because I've shared it to a couple of groups and some people have shared it out as well. If this is your first time catching me, hey, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hopefully it won't be your last. Drop a line, drop a Y emoji, Y reaction. Let me know that you are a first timer. Also, let me know where you are watching from and where are you in this whole creative journey as an entrepreneur, as a hobbyist. Just let me know, are you a beginner? I know a little something about Silhouette Studio. Know a little something about Sublimation, because we are also the home of the Honestly Speaking brand. Wait, no, there we go. That way. I always forget which way to go. So it's towards the door, Shakia. So we sell the greatest, the game-changing Sublimation paper, as well as Sublimation ink. It is out of stock right now, but don't fret. Hopefully it will be in this week. We are keeping our fingers crossed that it'll be in this week. It's, told you, I talked about that on Saturday? The life of an entrepreneur when things aren't in your control. But we do have some amazing sublimation paper that is in stock and ready to ship. If your order gets in by 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, guess what? It gets shipped out today. All right. So keep that in mind. And you can visit our website, which, guys, I made it easier for you. So let me put this up here for you all. I made it so much easier for you guys to share and get to the website. Some of you guys have seen the post, and I saw that you guys commented on it. I've been sitting on this for the longest, so I tried to secure my domains. Ooh, I know this is about Silhouette Studio, but I'm going to also do a video on this. If you think, like, if you know for sure what your business name is, right? Or what you want it to be. Maybe you're not ready to start your website. That is okay. Secure your domain name. So I went to go and do mine, and honestly speaking, wasn't available. You know what that let me know is somebody was watching and knew that our brand was going to blow up. They wanted us, I guess, to maybe pay them, because when you go to look for it, like to buy that particular domain, it's like $3,000. Who, honey, there's other ways to skin a cat. I'm not paying y'all $3,000 to get honestly speaking. And I know that someone did that maliciously because our name is very, very, very unique. And someone went and purchased the domain name, honestly speaking. So that was my fault in not securing that before I announced our brand. But whoever took it, thank you for believing in your girl and her brand and knowing that it was going to blow up and you thought that you were going to hold my domain name for ransom. Oh, honey, we have been quite successful in the past year without having that one. But I did secure HS Sync 365. I just never thought to use it. And then I remembered, oh yeah, you can redirect. And it'll take you still to the shop site. We didn't create a new site, but we just made it easier for you guys to refer us to others, and also easier for you guys to find. And you don't have to type out that long shop.silaholics.com. So all you have to do is type in hsinc365.com and it'll take you right to the site for you to purchase all of your honestly speaking products. All right. So now that, oh, wait, I said all of that, but I never did show the screen. So that's a perfect segue. This live segment is brought to you by the letters HSINK, the numbers 3, 6, 5, and 0, because 30 seconds. If you did not know, you can sublimate with our sublimation paper as low as 365 degrees for as fast as 30 seconds with most heat press, as long as, you know, it has good even pressure, the output temperature. Oh, the other thing is, with using our paper, if you're going to try to use the lower temperatures, do not put Teflon on your heat press. It is a heat barrier and it's not going to output that the correct temperature. So if you're going to put Teflon over it, you're going to have to take your temperature up. That's what I'm saying. Like with this sub game, there's so many different variables and everybody's setup is different. You have to figure out what works for you. But just on an open press, hey, I normally sub, even with my easy press, 365 between 30 and 45 seconds on the easy press. All right. But this is brought to you by HS Ink. And so that will take you to our, no, wrong one. That will take you to our website. And if you go up to the top, Sublimation Ink, the starter collections, it breaks it down and what you need depending on which printer you have. So if you have a workforce printer that uses the 252s, if you have an Eco Tank printer, if you have the 7820, 7840, 7310, or ECC 7000, that's that collection. Our sublimation paper, the 100 sheet packs, the rolls, although we are sold out of those right now, the sample packs, and so much more is available on our website. Again, you can now get there by just typing in www.hsink365.com. All righty, y'all. So let's get into this. Hello. Thank you for those that said bless you. Good morning. All right. I didn't get a chance to go through the good mornings, but you know, we are now 12 minutes in. So I want to go ahead and get started with answering some of your design questions and designing some stuff over here in Silhouette Studio, which I need to close out a few things. Yeah, so we have pigment ink in stock right now. What the issue is magenta. Uh and then I didn't even think about it that it was breast cancer month. So like last month, magenta went flying off the shelves. So we are out of magenta. So we don't have any sets. So we do have black, yellow, cyan on the site. We just don't have any magenta. So there are no full sets on the site right now. You just saw what on a video? What did you just see on a video? Oh, to secure your domain name? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, very, very sad. Exactly. All right, so let's save this. All right. Do you have, oh, wait, it skipped. Do you have a video showing how to change sub ink brands in an HP EcoTank printer? You cannot put sublimation ink in an HP printer. Epson, maybe. HP, definitely not. But this is not a general Q&A. This is about designing in Silhouette Studio, guys. So I need you guys to post your questions that you have in regards to Silhouette Studio. Trying to close out some stuff over here. Cancel. All right, let's see. All right, there we go. You guys have nothing that you want to learn how to do in Silhouette Studio. Nothing at all. Okay. This is going to be a very quick live session that was just a commercial for Honestly Speaking. If there are no questions on how to design something or how to lay out something in Silhouette Studio. Yes. Oh, you guys can also do that as well. I always forget what the actual one is, so I'm just going to give the one that I know off the top of my head because I still use it. But if you have something that you would like to send, let me find my email. There we go. It's going across the bottom. SilaholicsAnonymous@gmail.com. Good morning. First time catching you live, but I have seen some of your videos. New to this, just trying to learn for my own use. And that is great. Don't let anyone pressure you into becoming a business. That is a discussion that we are going to have this week. I've kind of had that before, but I'm going to have like a dedicated one, just saying like, it's okay. I took a screenshot of, there's a lady that it's on TikTok and she does like dolls and she takes them and she like cleans like takes all the factory makeup and stuff off, and so she basically redraws them in and like makes them like different things. And I guess people are always asking her about selling them, and she's like, no, I don't sell these. I share with you guys what I do with them. It's for my own use. It's therapy for me. I don't want the pressure of having to be on a timeline and all that stuff. And I thought that was so wonderful. And everything that you have that's a talent does not have to become a business. So I'm glad that you kind of know, like, for you want to get into this, but you want to do it for your own use. It's great to be able to make your own gifts and stuff like that and not have to spend out money. And sometimes it's just therapy. Crafting and doing all these creative things was kind of sort of a therapy for me at one point. Can I use silhouettes even with a Cricut, or I just use my regular print? So you cannot use it directly with a Cricut machine, but you can design in Silhouette Studio and then save it as a PNG or an SVG, and then open up those, or even a JPEG, open up those files in Cricut Design Space and be able to cut them. So after you do all your little setup and your trace and all that kind of stuff, you can open it up in Cricut Design Space to cut to your Cricut, but they are not interchangeable. Well, you can't cut from one to the other. How do I clean out the deleted files in Silhouettes? Do you mean like what that you delete in your library? Click on the top and then right click and empty your recycle bin. Let's see. My library still doesn't work. But if you come all the way down here to the bottom, just click on it, right click on it and empty recycle bin. And that will empty the files that you have in your bin. Ooh, in the library. All right. I want to make decorations for my daughter's gender reveal. I have the PNG file, but how can I turn it into a freestanding character? What character is it? Side note, I've been watching the print and cut you made on the Ninja Turtles and Miss Piggy. That's exactly what you have to do. You have to trace and detach. And depending on how big you want it to be, you're going to have to split it up and then piece it back together. But if you show me the image, I'll show you like how to trace and detach, or if you tell me what the image is. My question is similar to Rebecca's. The program will not delete the files placed in the trash can. How can I work around this? If it won't delete it, then I'm not sure. I don't have a workaround for that. Then there's something with Silhouette Studios, Silhouette America server then. But it doesn't do anything, like it doesn't take away your space or anything like that that I know of. But I don't save anything to the library. So but yeah, if it won't delete, there's really nothing because normally it's just you right click it and it empties the recycle bin. Definitely therapy. How can I get an image to a taper tumbler to follow the taper? Putting designs on those two for one travel cups at Dollar Tree. I have a template, just need to fit the image properly. There's a video that's going to come out that's going to show you exactly how to adjust your measurements and what to put in. But you will need to have Designer Edition Plus or Business Edition in order to use the warp feature. So you have to have Designer Edition Plus or Business Edition, which has the warp feature for cone things. So you have to have one of those. If you don't, click the link in the description and you'll be able to purchase that. It's always on sale. Like the price there is like their regular price, but it says it's like it's on sale. It's just cheaper than Silhouette America charges for the upgrade. And if you click on my link, it does support our platform here. It's no difference in the cost to you guys, but I do receive a small commission. So that's another great way to support is to click on the links in the description of the video. If you just tell me, I can probably Google it. I mean, you can email it, but if you just tell me because it's just a character. So if you just have that and just tell me, I can Google an image close to it. Might not be the exact one. My goal is just to show you the technique. So if you just tell me an image, I'll show you how to trace and detach that. We're supposed to be designing, guys. Now when I'm doing a design, when you guys want to ask all of the random Q&A questions, it's okay though. Lately, I get into Silhouette and it keeps pop-up Silhouette's not responding. It will pop up eventually. So that basically means that your graphics card and your RAM, like so your memory is not sufficient enough. That or you have opened a file that's corrupting that portion of Silhouette Studio. So you're going to have to watch my video on doing a clean uninstall. If you save to your library, if you are able to open it, all you have to do is go in there and export. So I guess that is still, this is a general Silhouette question and not a design one, but that's okay. So you're just going to go up to the top. When I go there, it's here. And you're going to export your library. And that will make it so where you can bring it back in if it's not there any longer. Now, if you do the clean uninstall and you don't create a backup, if you are like me and you have 1,001 images in your recovered documents, you will lose all of those. So you want to kind of I always try to save the file when I do the clean uninstall, but you can just simply do a clean uninstall. It'll wipe everything clean and then just download and install the program again. and then bring your library back in. The other thing that might be the issue is your computer may not be powerful enough for the 4.4 version. I have a gaming computer and it still acts foolish on me. So I'm not a big fan of version 4.4. It still has a lot of glitches. For most people, because they want the newer features, the best one is like 4.3. I, however, am one that loves version 3. That's where I really, really fell in love with Silhouette Studio, and it has never done any of this foolishness that the 4.4 version does. So if you are somebody who just needs to design, I designed so much. If you look at like my Instagram that does have some pictures on it, or videos from when I first started, I wasn't using version 4.3 and I was still doing amazing designs. If you just need, especially if you don't have a machine, um, you don't have to frustrate yourself with version 4 because it has been since version 4 came out. So just go ahead and download one of the legacy versions, version 3.6 or 3.8, and you don't have the issues that you do with version 4. Oh, of course. There are glitches in every single version of 4X, like every single version of the newer versions. Every single last one of them has some sort of glitch to it. So it's really no way around it. Okay. All right, I see that one. And all right. So let's download and ooh, wait a minute. Go back. Inbox. All right. So the first one that I see is I'm going to just download the image. And let me go back and download this image. Okay. So let's do it like this. So I'm going to put in banners, design 1, outlined text. All right, so let's go over to Silhouette Studio and the design. So she wants to know how to do something like this. Most likely this is a font, or they probably even purchased screen print transfers that are also like that are already in this type of style. But you can do this with any font that you have on your computer. So you're going to start with the A on the left-hand side, and we're just going to type out 25 because that's what's there. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Y'all know I can't stand designing in that white area. So we're going to come on and bring that down some. All right. So I'm not going to try and find the exact font. I never try to find exact fonts. All right. So let's go with Closest is always a good font. I mean, it's a font that I use most times when I am teaching. So we're going to move my big old head so I'm not a distraction. I'm going to fill this in with color. All right. So we're going to take this number and we're going to put an offset on it. So depending on the original size, your offset will be different. So don't go off of the exact number that I am putting in here because yours might be different because your font's going to be different. The goal, though, is just to kind of look at it and see, how thick you want it to be, how thick or thin you want it to be around the edge of your design. So I'm going to take mine up to 0.25, just to, let's go down to 0.2. I don't want it to touch. All right, so that's the first one. I'm going to make that a different color just for the sake of, this tutorial. And I'm going to group it together. Then I'm going to click on the inside numbers again, and I'm going to do an internal offset. Let me change the color of this so that you can see the line. So I'm going to do an internal offset. Again, that is totally up to you on the size that you make that. So I'm just going to come down a little bit on that and hit apply. Again, you don't have to fill with color. I always like to fill with color for teaching purposes so that you can see what I am clicking on. So I like to fill with color. It does make it easier to select things, but you don't necessarily have to. So now that I have this internal one, I'm going to hold down Shift on my keyboard, click on my original numbers or my original text. So that's that middle one. That's yellow for me. Just so that you can see what I clicked on, I'm going to change the color of both of them. See? So that's what I have selected. If your background changes, you selected that and you want to undo, or just hold down Shift and click on that part. So with this, you're going to right click and make it a compound path. That's going to give you your inline. So that's going to be white and this is going to be black. And that is how this is set up. All right. So now the next one is somewhat like, it's going to be a matter of offsetting as well. I got to sneeze again. Come on. I don't have time for this. Come out. Okay, there we go. All right. This is also kind of an outline text. I don't even know what to call this. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh gosh. What can I put on here to describe this? This is it's not really a shadow though. I don't know what to put. I don't even know what to put. I don't know. I'm just gonna put design to text because I don't even know how to describe this one. All right. So the next one is here. Okay. So I'm guessing you're referring to like how to create this. It's not really stacked. It's like trying to create this. So pretty much, I mean, a lot of the same. So for the inside part, I am going to tell you to do this one. I have a whole class. I like to give y'all a little something, something, but can't give y'all all the goodies because that's what my academy is for. I have a wonderful class on text effects that will go over how to do that. We also design, like we did kind of like that feel in my sports design class. So for some stuff, you're going to have to join the academy because we do a lot of teaching over there. So I will show you how to do this one. Oh, well, let's go design 2. All right. So let's go off and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to fill that with color. Go ahead and let's see. Which one do I want to use? I'll always, I have certain fonts I'm just kind of always going to. So we're just going to use this one. All right. And So with this one, kind of the same thing as far as using offsets. So we're going to do, well, a couple ways you can do it. You really don't have to use an offset if you don't want to. What you can do is duplicate it, move that down like that, and then duplicate it again, move that down like that. And then you're going to take the back two. So right here, I'm going to make them a different color. So you see those back two? You're just going to go over to modify and, well, you know what? Really depends. So we're going to go like this, right? I'm going to tell you why I'm going to make a duplicate. So we're going to take these two and we're going to subtract. And I'm going to make that the same color as here. So first let's group. Or in your case, for your example, we make that black and no line color. If I put white behind it, see, it looks just like that. It's stacked. Now, doing it this way, I mean, some of them aren't, they're not exact, but you can play around with it to get it where it is the exact spacing that you want. But the reason why I made a duplicate of this, let's click on here. I'm going to move this, is, let's say you want to do a couple different words. We're going to make this top layer black. We're going to make this middle layer white. And we're going to make the back layer black. So if you're just doing this as something that is printed, it's going to appear to have that effect. And that way you are able to change the font. And this way you're also able to kind of see the way that it's set up. If that's how you want it to look, you're able to see it that way. So now with this, what I like to do is put a small offset. We're going to group that together, fill that with color, tab it up, one, go over. I'm holding down Shift also, and then move it over. And then I'm going to offset that again. And I'm going to tab it the same. We're going to group it together, fill it with color, do the same thing, move it over one, move it over, move it up. Although I might bring this down some. This Y is the only one that looks kind of funky. Oh, same concept. You're just putting an offset, and having the offset can kind of help since you're moving them around so much. Like it just helps with like the way that it looks. But pretty much that's how you would create that. So that is design number 2 that was sent to me. And the last one that we're going to do, and let me know if that answers your questions for you guys. Let's see. That's what I was looking for. I wanted staggered text and it would not come to me. That's what I was looking for. I had a whole brain freeze. Staggered. Yes. Let's go to the next one. Oh, so let's go here. Oh, are you serious? I did all of that and it didn't save. So All righty. So here is the image. Whenever you bring in a PNG, it just has a standard box. So if you double click, you're only going to see 4 corners on it. That means that it is just a PNG. It has a transparent background. If you have version 4.4, like one of the newer ones, there is an automatic PNG trace. It's going to automatically trace this and you won't have to do anything to it. But if you have the older versions of Silhouette Studio, or if you have turned off the auto trace, because the auto trace is not the greatest when things have transparent, like shadows and like little wispy areas and fades and stuff like that, it's not the greatest for that. So you will need to sometimes turn it off and be able to manually trace and detach yourself. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go over here to the trace area and place our box around it. Let me zoom in just a little here. There we go. Place our box around it. You're going to take your threshold up until the entire thing or all the edges are masked in yellow. And I like to take my scale down. Doesn't really help in version 4.4. I don't want it to be too, so I'm going to go, okay, still at 100. So that works. And we're going to go trace and detach. That's going to be your first step. Then we're going to move the invisible box. So if I were to put line color on this, you're going to see that invisible box that came away. The one thing that you don't see in this invisible box is the breaks in between her hands and her pearls, this part, and you also don't see the area here in between her hair. And also with the line color on, you're going to see that you don't see any lines inside. So if you were trying to cut this, it would not cut in those areas. So if we double click, see, you see edit points all the way around it and not in the middle. And I think also on her strings right here. I'm going to focus at the top and not so much the bottom as far as her strings. And let's zoom out just a little so I can see the top of her hair. We're going to go back into trace. Select trace area, place your box in this area. You're going to take your threshold up again. This time though, instead of hitting trace and detach, you're going to hit trace. I do have this in a video on Silhouette Studio on Silaholics Anonymous for removing the white area, removing the inner areas, white areas. Even though this is not white, it still is the same technique because it's the inner areas. You need to be able to have those cut. So I'm going to take my trace and fill it with color. Then you're going to right click and release compound path. Hold down shift, click in the middle, here, here, in between her hair. Those are the areas that should be open. So holding down shift and clicking on them will deselect them. So now they're not a part of the selection. We're going to hit delete on our keyboard. They're gone away. Then you would select everything that's there. So all of those parts that you just created and the original image, you're going to go over to modify and subtract. Those go away. You now see the lines inside. We double click. There are lines there. Now there are going to be errors. This particular design does have shadowing on it. You would have to use your edit points. And also because these images are kind of, they're good, but they're not like great. The way that she makes them, you know, it's just like a repeat of an image. So some of them to me can appear somewhat pixelated. So trace and detach is not always the greatest. If you join my academy or take my class on point editing, I show how to go through this and actually get it right up to the edge. That way, when you're doing your print and cut, you don't see any white. Sometimes when you see white, it's not that you did your print and cut wrong. It's that your image naturally has white around it. But because it's a PNG image, you don't notice, like it looks, of course, clear on screen because it's transparent, but you're printing to white paper. So if your cut line is not right on the image, once you go to do a print and cut, you're going to see white. Let me show you what that looks like. So I'm going to take her and I'm going to copy her. And I'm going to fill her with white and turn off the line colors. Then I'm going to right click and paste in front. So what you're seeing is not the print and cut. It's not that the print and cut is wrong. It's that it's not right up to the edge. So you're getting that white area. That's why it's important to learn how to use your edit points so that you can go around it. It is very, very time consuming, but you're going to get the best results when you do that yourself. I never had an issue with edit points and kind of going around because I was used to that from Photoshop and Corel Draw and things like that. When professional graphic artists are going in and they're creating like these different things, they're not always just relying on the quick trace and things like that from Photoshop and from other programs. They will go through and use your pen tool. The only way to get a completely accurate and exactly how you want it trace of something to either eliminate it and things like that is to use the pen tool because you have more control. So although there is no pen tool, you can edit points in Silhouette Studio just by double clicking on it and then selecting adding a point or selecting a node and then moving it to where it needs to go, which let me delete this one. I'm going to put my line color on, double click, and then you'll be able to move your points. So it goes from how it was before, and now you are able to better control it and have it be right up against the image so that you don't have any white when you do your print and cut. So that's that. How do you delete the stragglers? Just hit delete. I'm not sure what you mean as far as how to delete the stragglers. So if you have like, let's say a bunch of stuff on there, it's like a whole lot of them, select them all, hold down shift, click on the pieces that you want to keep. That's going to keep those and then just hit delete on your keyboard to delete everything else. I have business edition, learning so much from you. Switch up class was the bomb. It really, really was. And you guys can still sign up for that class. Any class that I have, even if you miss the live class, which I'm telling y'all don't want to miss when I'm live. Like it's a totally different experience when you're live and it's totally different from these. So for those of you, if it was your first time attending one of my live classes, you probably can attest in the comments, but my live classes are totally different than it's not, I'm still me, but I go into detail and you're able to ask questions. I help you along the way. You're able to verbalize and things like that. So if you ever have an opportunity to, I really encourage you guys to keep up on our classes and join one of our actual, attend one of our actual live Zoom sessions. If you become an Academy member, you get 10, a doctorate member, you get 10 live sessions per month. So it's a lot of learning. Okay. But thank you for that. Let's see. Yes, the text effects is available for purchase. Was the live glitching for anyone else? I didn't get a notification that my signal was low, but if it was, no one else said anything to me. Shakia, I swear you are the bomb. I have learned so much from you and look forward to learning more. As soon as I can focus on my business, I will probably be in your classes. Appreciate you. Thank you so very much for that, Cynthia. Live classes are bomb. Hello and welcome to our little world here where we help you unlock your creativity. Hopefully this will not be your last time. Hopefully you have gone ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell and turn your notifications to all so that you never miss when I upload or when I go live. So for the switch up, it's as of right now, the temporary playback link is there. So with all of my classes, I always like record it for a YouTube video. It's a private video. So that link is available on there for you to watch the playback. I almost made it through getting everything uploaded. I'm almost caught up. So you'll have to give me a couple of days. I always say like 48 hours, but sometimes it gets hectic. So you have to give me a couple of days to get the broken up playback on there. But once you go into that class, you're no longer going to see the link for the live Zoom. You will see a link to watch the playback of it, the full, like just straight through playback. Okay, so maybe it's a Facebook thing because my mom said yes too, but maybe that's a Facebook thing. All right. I think one more person said they sent something, or no, I think I looked at that one already. Okay. Hopefully this qualifies as a design question. I want to put my logo on a dark shirt. It's a few pieces. It's small for layering. What would be another way to design? So if you divine, I believe. Okay, let me see. All righty, let's go back over here. And let's go to today's a lot of trace questions. Oh, come on. Design for logo, retrace, and cleanup. Okay. So we're going to go back over to Silhouette Studio. All right. And we're going to go over to trace. Wrong one. Select trace area. Place our box around it. Take our threshold up. And trace. Okay, actually, this right here, we can just kind of cut that off too. I'm going to try now. Do you have, I mean, for this to be your logo, where'd you get it from? You don't have a better resolution. This is a very poor resolution. Although this is about design, guys, when it comes to your business, do not, I repeat, do not skimp on that. If your designer can provide you with a high resolution image to where when you open it up, you can blow it up. Like they should be giving you a PDF, a JPEG, a PNG, some sort. I mean, they can even provide some sort of vector file. Although they designed it in a vector program, if they save it as a PDF, it will be like it's vectorized. But you know, something that's a vectorized, whether it's a CAD file, an Illustrator file, like EPS file, something where you have this broken up. Your design, like your logo, is a vectorized design. Like that should have been done in a vectorized program. So there really should be no reason why you have to trace your design. If you have to trace your own logo, Houston, we have a problem. That's the issue with like everybody thinking that they can be a designer, and some folk just need to buy some stuff and let the the ones who want to do it. It's okay to learn how to do things and kind of practice and eventually build your way up to that. But when it comes to your logo, it's something that's going to represent your business. You know that you're going to need to use it in different ways. You definitely want to not skimp on that. Like that's not something you want to play around with, and there should be a vectorized version. Even if they give you a version, which it's still the same thing. Even if they give you a version that has like embossing and highlights and shadows, and it's filled with glitter, there better be a vectorized version of that logo somewhere. All logos should have a vectorized version. So that's just a little tidbit for you, okay? So let's go back. Sorry, y'all. My husband went to go get breakfast, and I'm like, ugh. So yeah, this part is going to be kind of hard to get a good trace on it. That's going to be nice and sharp because there's a lot of pixelation in here. I don't want the food, I just want the drink. Thanks. Oops. Got me some Chick-fil-A tea. I think it's tea. Oh, that's a lot of pulp. Jesus. It's a tea and lemonade mix. All right, so like I'm saying here, it's going to be really hard to get a good trace on this because of the resolution of this. But everything else is pretty much good to go. Now I'm going to bring this one back just so that I know where to break this up at. So I'm going to go to the draw curve shape. All right. So that on this one, I can break that up. So we're going to go ahead and just fill this in with color. I'm going to release compound path on this, and I'm going to make everything else a compound path. So I'm select here, and we're going to make it a compound path. We're going to take the word trinkets and make it a compound path. The needle, make it a compound path. The word, and, make it a compound path. Wait, what happened? The word designed. All right, and then this part here, we're going to select the shape that we made and what's there, select both of those, go over to modify and divide, delete this, send this one to the back. And if you feel as if this is a bit too thin, you can always increase the size of it just a little by going over to your offset. And I meant to take that off the screen. Sorry about that. Go over to your offset and make it a little bit bigger. 0.015. Let's see. Yeah, you can make it like that. And I'm just going to take the two and just weld them just so that it's a little bit bigger. And there you go. And then let's take uniquely handmade design, handmade gifts. Hold down shift, click on designs, make this a compound path. You are now ready to fill this in with color. So you've created, at this point, you've created your own vectorized version of your logo. But if you're paying for a logo, you should never have to do this yourself. You should never, ever, ever, unless like it's a really, really old logo somehow, but you should not be to a point where you have to vectorize your own logo. That's just a no-no. All right, so there's that one. How can I sign up for the classes? I have business edition, and can they be watched at a later date and time? Yes, all of my classes have unlimited playbacks. So you can go back and watch them as many times as you need. You can go to our website, academy.silaholicsAnonymous.com. You can also purchase the majority of our like classes on shop.silaholicsAnonymous.com as well. So the link is in the description of this video. So you can go to either one of them, because if you purchase it on shop, it'll still just give you, you'll go to the Academy site to access your dashboard. And all of my classes have unlimited playbacks. Do I have a class that you can buy and take for warp? I don't recommend the warp feature unless you're doing it for the tumblers, which I'm going to do a video for that. But the warping can be kind of like the pre-made like shapes, they suck. I use it in the switch up. That's the only time I really use it. But even when you use it with that one, it takes up a lot of resources and it can cause your computer to crash like once it's processing it. So I don't really focus on it too much. Silhouette Studio has a lot of great features, but Warp isn't one of the better features. So I don't have a dedicated class on that. I kind of go over it in my Essentials to Silhouette Studio, but I don't have a dedicated class because it's just not stable. Yes, there is. It'll be closer to 12:30 because I have a call to make, which I have to get off of here really soon. So it'll probably be closer to 12:30. How do you get the bright colors in your Silhouette Studio? I'm not sure what you mean as far as bright colors. What do you mean as far as what my like my prints? Because you did not make a duplicate. You remember, whenever you crop, go over this in the Academy, whenever you crop anything to something, you have to make a duplicate unless it is going to fill the entire portion of it. So the part that you missed is like when the word or my words would disappear is if you're trying to do too many things. So you cannot crop a bunch of like images and things like that. Or if you were trying to subtract and there were things that were not grouped together. For crop, it should not necessarily make it disappear unless it's like the top part of it. And that's because you didn't make a duplicate. If you have a bunch of other stuff on there and it's disappearing and it's like only leaving one element, you were using subtract and you did not have it grouped together. Be sure to go back to those videos. The modify class of the Academy goes over all of that. So make sure that you go back and you rewatch those videos and take notes. So the color palettes. All right. What you do for that is, so whatever color you put here, if you're using a color chart, I'm just going to, let's see. I'm just going to put in a color. So if you use a color chart or whatever, and you're putting the color right here, let me also, let's go, adding color to, okay. All right. So if you come right here and say if you're using like a color chart of some sort and you put a color code in, I have no idea. I'm just going to put in 6 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have no idea what this is going to yield. Okay, so it didn't even give it, okay, it went to this yellow. I literally just put in anything and it went to something. So this is like the color that you want. You're going to either create a new color palette by naming it and then hitting the plus sign, or if you already have one, all you have to do is just, once you see the color palettes here, just click the plus sign. You have now added that color to your palette, and that's it. And let's see. File, merge, teal, fade. All right. What happened? Teal, fade. It's not the one color I wanted. All right, so let's say I make this color, and I want the teal to go on top. I'm going to send that to the back. I'm going to take trinkets. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste in front and then remove the color. And then we're going to, oops, it didn't paste in front. So I did, well, let's try this again. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste in front, remove the color, hold down Shift, click on the bar, modify, and crop. And I still have my original color back there. We're going to group this together. If you did not have the duplicate, you're only going to see this much of the letters. So you have to make a duplicate. When you're cropping things, always make a duplicate and remove the color. Those are standard steps that we go over when we go over modify tools and cropping in the Academy. That's always going to be the same, no matter what it is. If it's when we went over all over shirts, when we went over tumblers, when we went over the Candyland design, it's always the same. It's going to be copy it, paste in front, remove the color, hold down Shift, select the item that you want to crop, and crop it to it. Even if it's a picture off to the side, it's always the same steps, no matter what the project is. All right, we are at an hour, guys. So if you have questions, I am sorry I won't be able to get to them if you posted a design question, because we are at an hour. So I'm going to wrap this up. Vectorized, meaning they should give you the version that can be broken up. A JPEG, a PNG is not how your logo should come to you. So you should have a PDF. One, they should have probably designed this like in either Silhouette Studio, Illustrator, Affinity Designer, Corel Draw, something like that. So they should be able to save it as a PDF, even an SVG, an EPS file. There's like DXF files. There's a lot of different versions of Vector, but one of those should be the one where you can select it, you can ungroup it, and add colors to it. You should never be tracing it. JPEG and PNG should not be the way that you receive your logo. All right, so thank you guys. I'm seeing I have a couple. I'm not going to be able to answer any more design questions, but I do see some other questions that I can address. Oh wait, I just missed yours because I looked around. So let me see. I have a design question, but I don't know what the image is called. But if you use the word senior and going down, it starts cutting off the O and change to 2021 going down. If you use the word senior and going down, it starts cutting off and the O changed to 2021, but going down. Like a crossword puzzle? Yeah, I'm not understanding what you're trying to do unless you're talking about a crossword puzzle. Or like a cross of senior and then 2021 is down like that. Not sure. Or do you mean like senior, take out the O and just put 2021 small in place of the O? I probably wouldn't do it for the O. I'll probably do that for the I. Where do you recommend us beginners start learning? I have the business edition, my essentials to silhouette studio course. That is where I recommend that you start. So whether you go to the academy or you look for it on shop.silaholics.com, you're going to start with our essentials to silhouette studio. That breaks down every tool in silhouette studio as far as giving you the basic use of it. And it will help familiarize you with where things are so that if you're watching a free YouTube video, if you join a class, you'll understand a little bit better where the tools are, and you'll be able to follow along a lot faster, and just kind of have a little bit of a better understanding. So essential to Silhouette Studio, and don't just watch it just to watch it and take notes. There is a note guide included with it so that you can write down notes for different sections. So that is where I recommend that you start. If it's from a website, if it's really, really small, you're probably not going to be able to break it up. It really depends on the quality of the image and how small the elements are. And it might be a series of tracing. Not everything's going to be one trace. You're going to have to do several traces. That's one of the things that we're going to do in 2022 for our bachelor's class is do multiple tracing. Oh, I just did that video. If you go and watch Purple Strong, just did that video last week. So it's the same exact concept. So if you go and watch my video that I did the design for Purple Strong, that's that same concept. All right. So thank you guys so very much for joining me today. Be sure to visit our website, shop.silaholics.anonymous. Oh, we don't have to say that anymore. If you missed it, I made it so much easier for you guys to find our Honestly Speaking products. So all you have to type in is hsink365.com, and it'll take you to the website that's always been there, but it'll take you directly there. It's just a little bit easier for you guys to type it out, and you don't have to write out shop.silaholics.anonymous.com, just hsink365, and that is where you can find our amazing summation paper, which I'm going to do a video later today. So make sure that you guys also subscribe to the Honestly Speaking YouTube channel, or join the Facebook group, or follow the Honestly Speaking page, because it will not be on the Silhouette America platform, Silaholics Anonymous platform at all. It's going to be on Honestly Speaking, but I will be doing a demo later today because I have to test something out. So I'll be doing that. Also, if I can get you guys to go ahead and go over to TikTok. For how many people watch me, there's no reason why I should not be at 1,000 so I can go live on TikTok. But visit me over, go follow me on TikTok. It's I changed the name to Shakia the Professor 365. So Shakia the Professor 365 is my name on TikTok. All right. So thank you guys so very much for joining me today. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.